offer up that search. Honestly, the only time you have to let a cop search your car is if they see alcohol bottles inside the car, or if they see marijuana or smell marijuana coming out the car. They technically have the right to request that you step out so they can search. If neither of those two things are true, they can't really force you out of your car. So most of the time they say, "Can I check?" You know, they're like, "Oh, do you mind if I check?" It may not sound like a question, but it is actually a question.
So, I'm sorry, you're saying that if they stop you,
Mm-hmm.
and they come to your door,
Mm-hmm.
and they tell you to step out of the car, you can just ignore them and not step out.
You can say,
Provided
"Officer,
they don't have
I
any
know my
reason."
rights. I'll take the ticket, but I don't consent to you searching my vehicle," which is the same thing you say for your physical person. You can say, "I don't mind, giving you some ID. You stop me in the park after dark," which happens a lot. There are parks in New York. I actually was in Central Park one night, and it was like a whole 20, 30 people were lined up getting stopped by the cops. People on dates with like flowers and stuff, and the cops like, "You sit over there," and because they have these like weird signs, and so it happens a lot where people are in that situation. But you just have to know to say, "Look, I don't mind giving you some ID, but I don't consent to you searching the car." Now, in that instance, the cop could be violent, and they could be like, "Either you get out the car now, or we're gonna do it my way," right? In that case, you have to use your judgment because you don't know where that's gonna go. So, but in general, you should always insist on your rights. Insist on the fact that, like, "Look, officer, with all due respect, I don't want you searching my vehicle. I do not consent to you searching my vehicle." And if they have a reason, they have to state that reason. They have to say, "Well, I saw this or I saw that."
You can ask them for their cause, what's their reason and the cause.
Right. And it also happens in your home. So if you ever have a police officer come to your house and they're looking for somebody who may be on probation or have any kind of situation, a lot of times they come early in the morning, they knock very hard, and they're like, "Yo, is so-and-so there?" Maybe a family member's like, "Oh, they're not here." Cop's like, "You mind if I take a look?" And people feel like, "Well, you know what? I'm not going to be rude or whatever. I'm just going to let them take a look because he's not here." The problem with that is that New York State has a plain sight law, which means that if they see anything just with their eyes, that's illegal. It could be a bootleg cable hookup. It could be a DVD that's illegally manufactured. It could be an empty bag of weed, whatever. They can put that family, especially if you live in public housing or NYCHA, they can throw the whole family out, for like any kind of activity that's illegal or drug activity. So for that reason, we always tell people, like, don't ever let police in your house unless they have a warrant. They should show up with a warrant that has the judge's signature, it has your address, the date, and all of that. And you should also ask them to slide that under the door, because a lot of times people open the door, cop puts his foot in, and now later on they're going to say, "Oh, he consensually let me in the apartment," and you can't really slam the door in their foot because that's going to be problems. So the best thing to do is not to open the door or to use your chain. If you have a chain on your door, you can have them pass it through. But once you consensually allow police into your house, you don't know what is going to happen after that. They can flip over the couch. I've heard of people having, let the cops in because there was somebody in their family. Cops came in and flipped over the couches and turned over beds and all that kind of stuff. So that doesn't have to happen unless you allow it to happen, right? If the cops barge into your house, I've heard of cases where they literally just come with the battering ram and barge in. That's a whole nother situation. You have to make sure that they had a warrant and they were legally required to do that. But in general, no, you don't have to let them in your house for those reasons. Only time you do have to let them in is when someone is fleeing from the police and runs into your house, right? Which happens. I mean, sometimes people run in and they're like, "Oh, there's my boy," and try to lock the door. No, that doesn't work. They're gonna be able to get in. Or there's another rule that if they think that there's evidence that's going to be destroyed, they're allowed to come in, which I'm not 100% clear on if that's like drugs or physical evidence from a crime, but in my estimation, they should still have a warrant if it was like a drug activity, because they should get a warrant from a drug DEA judge or whatever. Yeah.
I wish I would have known a lot of this since I was 19. I would have paid a few $1,000. But my question get, since you probably won't get through everything, where can we get trustworthy source of
You can.
what our rights
There
are?
is a number of organizations. So she mentioned before there's a coalition of organizations called Communities United for Police Reform. And if y'all want to write it down,
We're actually
it
gonna
is-
put this information on our website.
Yeah, it is.
So there's like a teaching website, and we're gonna put all of this up there, so people have access.
So the name of that organization, or their website rather, is changethenYPD.org. And they have downloadable stuff there. You can also go to mxgm.org, and there's Know Your Rights information. You can also go to New York Civil Liberties Union, NYCLU. They also have information. And NYCLU also has a Stop and Frisk Watch app, which they created, which it allows them to upload video up to like a web server. If you ever see something happening, you can download their app. And so there's a number of organizations that have come together to try to like offer Know Your Rights information.
And some of them are immigrant, and some of them are immigrant specific too, in case there's anyone in the room that are immigrants and with everything that's going on. So some of those, I think NYCLU has some stuff, and ACLU definitely has some stuff that's specific about if you're being detained and you're an immigrant, or based on your status, what best ways are to respond as well.
Do you place stock in the CCRB? Do you think that they are?
The CCRB is controversial for a lot of people, right? Basically, if you want to complain against an officer, the easiest way to do it is through the CCRB, which is the Civilian Complaint Review Board. And the way you do that, you can actually do it by phone. You can do it on the internet, or you could walk into a precinct and get the form and just say, look, I'm writing a complaint against this officer. Problem with CCRB is that they're supposed to be an independent organization, but they're not. They're funded by the police. And so basically they make a recommendation, or rather they make a decision about whether your case was substantiated, whether it was not substantiated, or if they can't agree, they say, no comment. So in the cases where they agree with you, right, and they substantiate your claim, they're like, this officer appears like he abused the law, he was physically violent, they write up a whole report and they send it over to the precinct. The precinct commander looks at that report, but he's not obligated to do anything. That's the problem with the CCRB, is that it doesn't really have the kind of power in actually firing cops. What it does is it just goes into that cop's file. So then he now has a CCRB report in his file. So I support people filing them, because let's say 5 complaints come in a cop's file in a year, then maybe people have to look at it, right? But also, people should also sue. People should do their notice of claim. Like I said before, actually write up a 2-page notice of claim. It's not that difficult, and hold the city responsible for whatever happens, because those things go to court and they actually force them to pay you money. But the CCRB is, people have criticized it. Some people think it's terrible because it's connected to them. I think it has a purpose. It's just not as powerful as we want it to be.
How do you officially become a part of our organization?
A part of an organization? That's a good question. It depends which organization you're going to join. So like Malcolm X grassroots movement, people would just come to a meeting, they would actually fill out an application, they would pay dues, and I'm not sure if there was a probationary period for like full membership, but every organization is different. There are some organizations where you can just come to the meeting and you're a member. Like mass associations or coalition organizations, a lot of times you can come to the organization, be part of it, and you don't have to necessarily have a card or there's no proof that you're in the organization. And then some groups are very tight, about who they go out in the street and organize with. So I would say it varies. I would say Autumn actually probably knows more about the up-and-coming organizations, because there's so many groups that are now taking lead that have their own structures and stuff like that. So
I think just showing up. I think the first thing is just showing up. So we're in a social media generation, right? So going to the websites of all these orgs that Djibril just gave out, on social media, right? Following them, and not following them for the purpose of following, but to see what everyone is doing, and so that, you know, like if BIP 100, which is just solely for people up to 35 years old, it's very specific that it is for young black people, right? If they say that they're doing a rally or they're having an event or they're doing a fundraiser, show up, right? Show your interest, like anything else. If it's MXGM and you follow us on Twitter, or you go to the website and you see that there's going to be, that there's something that's coming up, you know, we're here. So if you're interested in the politics of MXGM and some of the things that's come up, even though we haven't gotten to go super in depth in them, if you want to know more, you know, then give us your contact, right? We can let you know when there's another new member orientation. Our Black Lives Matter New York City chapter we have been closed for the last, well, pretty much two and a half years since we started, specifically because we wanted to make sure that we were very clear and intentional around what we were bringing people in to do with our chapter, how people enter, security, right? So looking at mechanisms that are used in MXGM and other organizations, and how you make sure that, you know, people are coming into your organization, that there is a secure process, and also, you know, that you're bringing them into work that is concrete stuff to plug into. So I would just say the first thing is like just doing your research and showing up. And it's okay to show up to a bunch of different things, and so that you get a feel out for what groups are actually about in person. You want to make sure that the politics, you know, are something that interests you, is something that speaks to who you are right now, right? And you want to make sure that also the people are people that make you feel welcome. Because y'all can have the same politics and ideologies and stuff. You might be like, that's hot. But if you don't know how to treat each other, people to people, person to person, that's not who you want to be doing work with, right? Because these are people who you really want to be able to make some change with. So, yeah, as far as getting involved. Also, I just wanted to add on, too, like, to, you know your rights stuff, like, we're not saying that means that if you do these are tools, right? These are tools to empower you, because a lot of the times, as Djibril was saying, the police use their power of conversation as a way of persuasion, right? To make you think that they have all the power. So these are just some things to give you so that you understand. And once we understand like what's going on, a lot of times you can step into it with more confidence, right? We all are very clear that Austin Sterling did every single thing that he should have done, right? He was clear. I have a weapon. I have, you know, I have right to carry, right? He was very, very upfront about it, and we still see what happened to him. So also just to make clear, like we are, you know, we're not saying if you do this, then that means, right? You're gonna be like, oh, well, y'all said, and then it still happens. So that's not what we're saying. We're just saying that these are some tools and these are some ways to go about it, and this is some language that you can use, or so that you're aware of. This is actually how they're, you know, this is what they're using, and you know that you feel more knowledgeable when you're in these situations, and that we don't feel as intimidated. You know, we have some language to use, but we should always look at situations, right, and size up the situations and make sure that we're proceeding also in our best interest, which first and foremost is survival.
I would also say, you know, keep in contact with us through, like, we'll leave our information with, you know, your professor, and, you know, like, definitely stay in touch with us, you know, if you're interested in joining an organization or finding out more stuff, because really years ago, folks started this concept of creating, like, nationwide movement where, you know, we have small pockets of organizations here, but we all know what's going on in Oakland, we all know what's going on in Houston, and, you know, kind of like making it a really national thing. And I think that's been happening more than ever in the last few years. So, you know, if you stay plugged into the right folks, you can really kind of connect all around the nation, even around the world, you know, as far as organization. But the other thing is just to think about the most important things that are important to you. You know, it might be domestic violence, it might be, I don't know, substance abuse issues, whatever issues that really make you feel like, man, I want to put my energy into this. Then start looking for organizations that are doing that work, you know, and, you know, I think you probably will find people, because, you know, there's such hurt and pain in this world. It's like a lot of people are looking for something to do, and you don't always see them out in the streets, you know.
Well, we want to thank Autumn and Djibril for coming out. And we just want to say, this is is the second of the teaching series. The teaching series will continue throughout the semester. The next one is next Wednesday, and it's about Muslim civil rights or the history of pushing against Islamophobia. So please come out. We'll have Kuni Clear here as well as some other speakers talking about the history of that movement. And if you're just interested in getting more information that was disseminated through these two, like information about Copwatch, like information about Malcolm X grassroots, like information about like I'm Not Your Negro, 13th, and so forth, go to our website, the Anti-Hate Teaching Series. If you're like, I'm not going to write that down, then like us on Facebook, and it'll be up there.
But give us time, because we got to put all that stuff up.
Right, and then lastly, like, we're all on campus for some period of time. Like, I'm on campus because I work here, I work at Saru. You are all on campus because you're students, which means we all spend a considerable amount of time interacting with people who are related to this university. If you're interested in doing more work around what happens here, between students, between staff, between student to faculty, come out. We do have a coalition designed to push back